Did you want me to jump in?
Got it. Thank you. No, you're not on yet, Scott. You'll
Darn it.
You have to take all the notes, Scott, and relay them to us so that we know what we're doing.
I will get right on that.
all right, folks. 30 of us. That's a great group. Thank you so much. Just wanted to go through and we'll talk a little bit about Maui. We'll talk a little bit about our district conference. We'll talk a little bit about our goal setting, and there's been some changes there with our community service projects, and then we'll talk a little bit about our mental health initiatives. So hopefully we can get through those major chunks of my checklist anyway. So I know that Maui's been a concern for all of us in the last month, and I asked Wendy to give a quick update on that as AG from Maui. Wendy, you want to spend a couple of minutes and tell us what's happening?
Thank you, Mark. I'll make it quick because I know we have a busy agenda. We have, first of all, been overwhelmed with outpour from Rotarians around the world and in our district. Thank you guys so much. Many of you have reached out to us personally, and we can't thank you enough for the overwhelming response that we have received. Again, thank you, Mark, for setting up the disaster relief fund as soon as you did. By doing so, he has been able to allow us to collect monies for immediate, midterm, and long-term needs. And this is really important because as much as we appreciate on Maui, we do have a committee that works with the foundation on the different proposals that are coming in. It's not just Maui people that we want to hear from. It is the district that we want to hear from. So if you guys have ideas or thoughts of what's going on or how you can help, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Al Whelan, who's the other assistant governor on Maui. We are taking proposals constantly, and you guys may come up with something that we haven't thought about. We've been talking with other clubs like the Paradise Club in California that dealt with the Paradise fires and kind of like what they've done and what they wish they would have done and things like that. So getting feedback. But real quick, the things we have done so far with the disaster relief fund. So we've done $75,000 in gas cards, which was an area that was not tapped into on Maui. We've contributed around 50,000, I want to say, to the straw burn unit because it's the only burn unit that is available for the Hawaiian Islands. We're waiting on the exact numbers of that. We've also allotted a certain amount of money for different clubs on Maui to do proposals for the disaster relief. But the fund is growing, and we are definitely seeking help and ways to make sure that we spend that money appropriately. And as much as we respect that you guys, ask for our input and opinion, we do want to hear from you. And we do want to know your ideas and thoughts. And I know a lot of clubs, like I said, have reached out. So just let us know if you're thinking of something before you do it, just because, again, as you know, like, for example, a lot of people are excited to help. So one of the big interests is the kids. How do we help the kids? How do we get them back to school? And somebody brought up backpacks, and that's great, but that's already been saturated and overdone. So before you guys go start buying backpacks for us, just give us a heads up because we can let you know what's already saturated, what's not. And again, you may come up with ideas that we haven't because, sometimes it's easier to see from outside in. And we are definitely looking for support in your ways. Again, a lot of you have reached out to us. So thank you for that. Another thing Mariko was amazing at was that when the fires first came out, she set up the Starlink for the West Side and gave free Wi-Fi access to all the people on the West Side and put it in Rotary. And, the password was service above self, which I love. So thank you, Mariko, for doing that. But she saw a need, she filled it, and she made it happen in the name of Rotary. So there's been a lot of amazing things happening on the islands. Many of our members have been volunteering, and Liz May, Leah, Skeeter, Josh. I mean, I can't tell you how many people from the Lahaina clubs who have lost a lot that are still out there. They're working at the different places. They're, helping out where they can. And it's amazing. So the love and support we have here is awesome. And again, we thank you guys for it. And there's definitely still a lot of needs to be met. And a lot of clubs will tell you of specific things they're hearing from, not just on the west side, but from up country as well, from the fires that happened in Kula. With the water is still not drinkable and they're still having issues there. So we're trying to address all these different needs. But we definitely appreciate your support and any recommendations or thoughts you may have. And we do have a committee that meets on a weekly basis. So we definitely want to discuss those, and we invite any of you guys with your ideas and thoughts. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Wendy. So we've already distributed more than $200,000 back into the Maui economy through our 3 Lahaina Rotary clubs, through the gas cards, through Straub Hospital. It's phenomenal, the outpouring of support and care and concern from Rotarians around the world, literally, that are reaching to support our folks on Maui. The fund that started, I was excited when the first $15,000 came in, and a friend challenged me, said, well, we should be able to reach 6 figures, Mark. And I thought, well, that's going to be a stretch. The fund today is sitting at $1.6 million. It is incredible, the outpouring and what clubs are doing, and the stories that I've received and trying to share with the Maui folks are super inspirational. But I think most importantly, as far as inspiration, is the folks on Maui themselves. Our Rotarians, the 3 Lahaina clubs are meeting because they wanted to be with their Rotary family. They wanted to share the common experiences. They wanted to be with their family. And so early on, and I'll call you out, Ann, because Ann and her club early on met because they wanted to be with each other. Mariko was out of town, but she's back and she's meeting with her club. Hilton Unamori and the Wailuku Club has been doing phenomenal work. They found a need. Somebody needed a hospital bed, and real quick, 20 minutes later, they had a hospital bed in a truck and they were driving it over to the west side of the island. So just thank you so much. Jay Sattenstein is becoming the photogenic Jay, because visitors are going to Kihei, and so they're able to stay. Off-island folks are invited to Kihei and stay in Kihei, so they're visiting Jay's club, and they're presenting Jay with, what was it, Jay? A $17,000 check that Jay got to smile and accept, and turn that into the Rotary District 5000 Foundation. All of our clubs.
That week was $44,400 presented to the D5000 fund.
You just keep doing that, Jay. You stand in front of that banner and shake hands and take those checks. One lady was over there actually to have her wedding, and she asked her guests to, instead of giving something to she and her husband, she asked her guests to give to the Maui Fires Fund, and she was there presenting monies to Jay too. So I could go on and spend a whole hour talking about this stuff. I just want you to know that Rotarians and Rotary clubs around the world are reaching out to Maui because they care. And our Maui people have really stepped up to take care of their own and to take care of other folks on the island. And for that, it's a super inspiration for me. And I am very, very grateful. So thank you. Thank you, Wendy, for that update. Usually I ask for questions, but I don't think I'll ask for questions. Well, we're going to plow ahead. I invited Scott Wishart to join us tonight. He's a co-chair. He and Josh Laguana are the chairs of the Public Image Committee, but Josh is also chairing Public Image and registration for our district conference, which will be on Kauai next May. So Scott, you want to share what's the scoops on the district conference? Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I wanted to share screen if that's at all possible, Mark.
Yeah.
So while Mark's pulling that up, can I see a show of hands? Who's planning on going to district conference? Nice. Looks like most everybody. I'm hoping that we get that number. I hope we get everybody to district conference. That's kind of our goal. And here we go.
All right, there you go.
Thanks, Mark. So just wanted to give you guys a little announcement about what's happening. I know that there's a lot going on, and I don't know how to actually follow that, Mark. You, Wendy, and Jay. But I'll be quick, guys. Just wanted to make sure that this is top of mind when you guys are talking to your clubs. We really want to get the enrollment up. Our numbers are pretty down as far as the people that have registered already by about this time of the year. So really want to work on that. Our committee actually meets tomorrow night, so we're going to be putting together some good little plans, but really want to get Rotarians on Kauai to be thinking about some ideas that they may have that will really just make people that much more excited about going to district conference. And that also includes, you guys over on Maui and here over on Oahu. If you have ideas that you want to throw around, we want to hear those. But just wanted to remind everybody too that our incoming district governor at that time is a Hawai'i Rotarian also. And if you don't know the dates, if you don't remember the dates are May 10th to the 12th. So put those on the calendar amongst a million other things that I know that we're hitting you with, or that you guys are getting hit with. And special room rate is available. We've got a early bird special, but basically full conference is $450, but the early bird special is $399. And Mark, did you want to say when that early bird special kind of comes to an end?
Right now it's good till at least the end of the year.
Right. So just want everybody to be thinking about that. And, as Mark said, I don't really need to take any questions. I just wanted to introduce myself and let you know that I might be, reaching out to you presidents individually. We're going to be putting together, a sergeant at arms team at some point, but really just wanted to make sure that that this is on people's minds. Doesn't necessarily need to be top of mind right now, but just wanted to make sure that, you guys are thinking about it. And if you do have any questions after this meeting, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll put my email in the chat, but you can also find me on Club Runner. So I'll leave it at that. But I do want to say hats off to part of the team that's here, and that's Josh and Conrad, two of the hardest working men in show business. And thank you, Josh, for putting together those slides. And I don't know if you guys had anything that you wanted to add, but I'm gonna sign off because I know you guys have a lot to cover tonight.
There was a question in the chat asking where can we get the slide, this deck.
Oh, I'm glad that you asked. I will email that to you if that's okay, Josh. I don't know if that's proprietary info.
Josh is the one that asked the question, so that you get your own cheering squad on the sidelines.
Scott,
Yes.
Can you attach it to this as an attachment here, so if anybody wants it, they can download it from here?
Absolutely, I'll do that while you guys are in your meeting.
You did great. Way to go, Scott.
Thanks, guys.
You did
Right,
good.
Scott, thank you.
Appreciate your time.
The Kauai Beach Resort was recently sold and is now an outrigger property. And so we're still going through some transition between a former owner and a new owner. And so the link to the hotel is not on our website because they haven't done that yet. But they can, the hotel room reservations with a phone call will take care of that, and they'll get that link up soon. I think with outrigger ownership, they're going to be very receptive to having us be there for a weekend to have a Hawaii conference. So I was pretty excited to hear that outrigger is going to take over instead of some mainland trust company. All right, Scott, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You did such a good job sharing screen. that I am gonna try to, let's see what happens. I want to show you Rotary International's up. Can you see that? We're okay. Rotary International has updated their website. And so when you go into their website now, you're going to see some different things. And so, of course, I finally figured out with the old website where to find things. And now it's all different. So when you go in and sign in, now they got blocks of things. I don't know if you folks have seen this. It's all within the last 30 days. But if you go into knowledge and resources, a couple important things. One would be the Rotary Club Central is where you can find out about your club, what's going on in your club, and that's where the goals that you have set, they're still there. Or if you haven't put in your goals, oh, sorry, you still can. See, that's because I was logged on 30 minutes ago and didn't touch anything, so I was logged off. Sorry about that. So the Rotary Club Central, it's still an opportunity to put your goals in there. We have not done a phenomenal job with that. Some clubs have, and I would encourage more clubs to go ahead and do that. So this part is going to look very similar. I'll pick on my club because the president isn't here, because they haven't set any. I just set a goal for them just to put something in there. So this part's going to look 5-year history. That's continued. That is the same. But if you go into Goal Center, that's where you can actually put in your goals for the course of the year. So I would encourage you to go ahead if you haven't done that. So we know that currently the Metro Honolulu has 48 members, and hopefully they're going to get up to 55 members at the end of the year to set goals. The one major change is when you go into, we used to have to add our projects through Rotary Club Central, and that's transitioned. So now they want to use us to use this Rotary Showcase. And so when you go into Rotary Showcase, that's where you can put in information about your individual service projects with your club. And it does aggregate information. So it can put in the number of people, number of hours, number of dollars that go into your Rotary service projects. One thing with their new website, it hasn't gotten any faster. We just came off a membership committee meeting, and there were some frustrations with my Rotary on the membership side. But it is what it is. It's the best we got, folks. And while it's thinking, so you can go into, this is a Rotary Showcase. If we go in and ask for our specific district, after you scroll all the way through to 5,000, because there's no way to do a shortcut. You can see the projects that have been entered through Rotary Showcase, and not a lot, and we want to get more information in here. But since Zita's here tonight, and her club actually did this project, so the Marshallese Water Project, it started a year plus ago, and it's just now completing. But you could go in and look about what that project is and what they did. You could do this for any club around the world. You can look at what the project is with the description, contact information, the money that went into the project. They did a great job documenting this project. And then at the bottom, it'll show how many hours, how many people, what the cash contributions were, and what kind of in-kind contributions. But this is all information that's input by the South Hilo Rotary Club. So you can look at any project This is the Maui initiative. So this one is a international global grant project that our clubs were involved with a couple of years ago. We're trying to get more current information in here, is why I'm talking about it now. So this came from Kona Sunrise was the primary club from our district. So they funded $20,000. I think that's all the clubs put in. And again, a description, project photos, and then hours, volunteers, and the cash and in-kind contributions. So this Rotary Showcase is the new way to document our service projects. If you're interested, pick something. Mental health. So this is just looking at project. Oh, sorry, Kathleen. No projects for mental health. There must. Oh, that's because in our district. Sorry.
We'll put one up.
Yeah, you better now.
Yep, that's embarrassing.
I was only looking at our district. If we look at worldwide, you can see the different kinds of projects they've been associated with the mental health initiatives. So there's like 40 pages of projects. You can go down the rabbit hole and see what different clubs have done around the world with this Rotary Showcase. So I would encourage your clubs to get your information, put it in here, even if it's just a skeleton, to get information in here so that we can be showcased. Because the work that we're doing, like that water project in Ocean View, Hawaii, it is important, no less important than the Jesse Fellowship August birthday celebration. So spend some time getting your club goals in there. It's not too late. It's still time to put your goals in there and think about how your year is progressing. And then as we work on community service, this is the place to document your project. So it's in Rotary Showcase now, where it used to be in the service activities. Now it's taking us directly to add a project to Rotary Showcase. That's a big change. That's a big change. So it's no longer found in Club Central. It is found in Rotary Showcase. Any questions on any of that?
I have a question, Mark. Do we
Sure.
have to put our projects then in both the goal center and then the showcase if we want to showcase it as well?
No, Showcase is the place to put projects. The only place for in the goal center is you're gonna put your goal of the number of projects to hold during the course of the year. And then when you put a project in Rotary Showcase, it'll show up as an achievement. So they are linked that way. So you set your goal in the Club Central, but when you post your projects at Rotary Showcase, that's where your achievement's going to show up as completion. So we should be able to find if we go into South Hilo, because they posted theirs. Oh, there's just Moscow, Dick Moscow. Sorry, Dick, didn't mean to pick on you. I was targeting South Hilo because Zeta's here. All right, so we're going to South Hilo and look at her goals. Oops. Oh man, Okay, let's say you have one. You gotta do a project, Zita. I'm committing you now.
And Mark, I already put service projects in this year under the service activities, but I didn't put them in the showcase. So you can look up Kapolei Sunset if you want and see if how it shows.
All right, Zita, you're committed now.
All right, don't pick on me because it took us a while putting that project in the other day. We didn't, it's pretty intense.
To get the showcase in there? To put it
Yeah.
in the showcase?
Yeah, because when Ben and I were looking at it, Ben says, oh yeah, you just have to go in and put in your projects. And so when we looked at it, it had changed from a few years ago, and there's a lot more you have to put in when you put your projects in this time. So
And Mark, I'm Kapolei Sunset.
Oh, I know that.
yeah, stay there. Don't come to us.
All right, so Joni has a goal of 12 projects through the course of the year, 1 a month, and she's completed 3. So you would say July, August, and September, she's right on track for 1 a month. Did you put it in showcase also, Joni?
It's Lonnie is
Lonnie, I know.
Kapolei Sunset. I did not put it in a showcase. I put it in at the beginning of the year as we did each of those first 3 projects in the goal center, not in showcase.
All right, so we are doing some transition. And I'll get out of that. Stop messing with that. All right, Lonnie, sorry about that. Joni, I couldn't even find yours. I saw Jody twice in the last week, Lonnie. That's where my confusion is. Sorry about that. Jay, you had a question?
I do. I entered in the old one, not this new thing. Now, as we achieve some goals, do I enter it and does it accumulate? In other words, membership is the easiest one. We've already brought 3 new members in. Do I enter them and then add to it through the year, or do I wait till the end of the year?
No, you can add things during the course of the year. So when you do a project, add it. When you get somebody to become join a Rotary Action Group, and you can put that in as a +1. So kind of check in on a semi-regular basis to update your accomplishments during the course of the year.
Okay, thank you.
Anne is asking about whether Club Central syncs with the showcase, and my understanding is yes, it does. But it did not look like it when we looked at South Hilo right now. Got to figure that out. We'll have a better report next month. Any other questions on that? So if you can spend some time getting your goals to outline the course of the year, and then do some exploring with the Rotary Showcase to see how we can highlight our service projects during the course of the year. All right, we got a few minutes, and we're going to turn over to our mental health initiative chair. But is there any issues that have come up with you and or your clubs that you want to ask to the group, kind of a peer-to-peer question? You're being on your best behavior. No hands at all?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I just got an email from our youth services chair saying that we have 13 people in our Interact Club who want to be part of the of RILA. We can't afford to sponsor 13 people. Are there any resources for helping these students be able to go?
Rick Tabor is is the RILA chair. We could definitely get you connected with him. The scholarships come from clubs. And so if a club has scholarships and they don't have students, then we might be able to draw from that. But generally, a club that's gonna sponsor X number of students, I think it's $250 per student this year. Then they work hard to find a student to fill that scholarship from their club. They're looking for Oahu anyway, and the neighbor islands, the Kauai Island does their own, right? Each island does their own RILA conference. So I guess I'm talking specifically about the Oahu RILA conference. The clubs that have scholarships generally fill those scholarships with people they're recruiting from their own Interact clubs. They're looking at between 50 and 60 participating students at RILA this year.
Yay. Echo Rotary Club.
Mark, this is Heather Mueller here.
Hi, Heather, welcome.
Hi. I am so sorry. I apologize. I had guests arrive from California today. I served them dinner and I just about forgot. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm glad you're with us. I'm glad you're back home. Do you have drinking water yet?
As of yesterday, we can now take showers and use the water. Yes. Thank you for asking. It's been a big challenge.
Well, I mean, it's a little self-serving because I'm hoping to come and stay with you in about 3 weeks. So
yes,
it's a little self-serving there.
Right. It'll be all copacetic by the time you get here, Mark.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark. I just wanted to send a real thank you to the whole district for the support of the straw burn unit, because one of our members, Judy McCorkle, ended up in there, and she was the one that initiated the request, and she is ecstatic about the support that Rotary is providing straw burn unit. It's a real need.
Thanks, Hilton. And
yeah.
And Judy was actually was on the TV news and in a big paper article too. She was burned as a result of her home in Kula.
Yes.
And had severe burns on her feet.
Yep. But there are about 9 other Maui victims in that burn unit. So, you know, she was one of them. But anyway, thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
All right, Hilton. Thank you. Anne, hi there.
Hi. I just wanted to refer back to the Eco Club of Ka'ako. Regarding the RILA students. You know, I think it's amazing that we have so many students interested in going to RILA. If maybe you can shoot out an email via the district or whatever to all the clubs. I know for one, you know, Lahaina Sunrise would love to support. You know, the more kids we can get into RILA, who cares where they're from? You know, and if we can support them, please let us just know, and we'll do what we can do. That's just amazing. You have so many kids interested.
Yeah.
I didn't catch the name of the member from Kaka'ako.
My name is Jacob.
But anyways.
Jacob Roberts.
Okay, thanks, Jacob.
Yeah, thanks, Ann.
Good guy. We can help him out, and it's all good.
Love to hear it.
I can give you a quick update. We've been talking about these membership rallies, and our assistant governors have been working hard with their group of clubs, and the projects are really coming along. Our first one, Nestorio and Kona's going to dedicate a peace pole at their large park in Kona, and it's becoming a community-wide event. All 3 Kona clubs are engaged and involved with that. Other areas around the state are have their plans in place, have dates set It ranges from taking over a bowling alley to having a fundraiser for Maui to having Rotary Means Business, after hours social. Every area has kind of taken on a different strategy with finding ways to bring in new members. So it's exciting, and those are happening a lot during the next 60 days, 75 days. So the entire idea there is that we're going to grow membership. So we want them to be community-wide events that brings interested people to find out more about Rotary. And when those interested folks are there, they're going to be able to meet 4 or 5 different Rotary clubs. And so we'll be able to match individuals with the club, whether they're a breakfast person or an evening person or a Monday person or a Thursday person or a hammer and nails person or a reading in the library person, to try and match up these interested folks with the club that's going to be a good fit for them. So the whole idea is to bring our clubs together and have interested folks look at variety of clubs and to find the right match to become engaged and involved. So those are coming along real well. We'll get a whole spreadsheet out or a flyer out announcing all the different projects that are happening across the state. It's exciting. So thanks to our assistant governors for making that happen and for coordinating that. They've been putting a lot of time and energy into that. Another area is doing a community-wide service project that all their clubs are going to be involved with. And there's a big Rotary plaque in the middle of the area they're working with. So it's a natural draw to the community. It's exciting. So that's an update on that. Any other quickies? And then I'll turn it over to our mental health initiative chair, who I think is ready. We're going to have a little project. We're all going to be engaged and involved. Kathleen, I guess that's up to you as chair of the mental health initiative.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Aloha, everybody. Great to see you. We had a meeting last month and we spoke about this at our meeting. Again, we meet the last Friday of every month. So hope you can make our upcoming meeting, which is September 29th. Again, it's the last Friday of every month. It's a really great group, Mental Health Initiative Rotary Action Group, a RAG. And there's an international group that meets as well. So the goal is to get as many districts as possible to have their own RAG. There aren't that many in the US. There are some worldwide, but we're really proud to have one here in our district. So one of the projects that is called a toolkit on this major website is the Looking Inward toolkit. And the idea is to have us look inward, literally, with ourselves and do there'll be a little activity at the end, a little survey, and these survey results go boom directly into the international community, and it's anonymous, very quick to do. We'll use a QR code. So please get your phones out while I'm sharing screen. And then we're going to do this again after the first of the year. So probably about March. And we need to do it around then because we want to get this data available to present it in Singapore at the International Convention. So we want to make sure our district is represented in the data collection. So it's kind of cool. I'm going to be sending this PowerPoint out to all of you and all the AGs. I shared it with the AGs last week and they liked it. And I hope you like it. When you present it to your clubs, you really, the PowerPoint, you can zip through it. I'm going to zip through it. Or you could make it a part of a meeting. You could make it the meeting. Or you could even just give people the QR code and say, let's do this survey. You think about it as I walk you through it. So let me share screen and let's go through it. Okay, can you see this? It's small though, right? Okay, hang on. Okay, how about that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so again, so I'm giving you the cheat sheet to the PowerPoint. So the PowerPoint, again, Rotary members looking inward. This is really about the fact that we provide a lot of service to others. So we look outward, but we want to take some time to look inward because we help our own communities. We do a lot of foreign country work, international service. And so what about the person right next to us, or, you know, they're maybe on Zoom with us, or they are somewhere at a Rotary meeting. I think most of you have probably seen Rotary International President Gordon McAnally's part of his speech, or hopefully you've learned a little bit about his vision with Create Hope in the World. It's very inspiring why he came to that particular theme. Every Rotary year, July 1, there's a new theme. We've been super excited about this particular theme because it does have a mental health platform. It's really about creating hope and having a lasting change. Some of his main points in this theme is to break down stigma about mental health, mental wellness, mental illness, to raise awareness about those, and then also increasing access to services. Rotary members serve above, we often talk about service above self, but what about our own health? And so this kind of visual is talking about the fact that also peace, that peace is very central. And there's also a peace Rotary Action Group. I believe it's one of the largest ones. And as you know, our district with leaders like Nestorio, who's on, and Hawaii Island, we've got a lot of leaders in the peace movement, and we think mental health and peace go hand in hand. Now, if we think about the four-way test, which we are always saying, it's a part of our routine, it's what we do at our meetings. What about the four-way test in terms of looking inward? So is it the truth? How about being truthful in terms of building connections and relationships so that we could relax and trust? So we need to be truthful with ourselves. This group has also looked at, is it fair to all concerned? So integrity is a part of well-being, and it underscores Rotary's values. So are we being fair to ourselves? That would be something to look at. Number 3 it's been about, will it build goodwill and better friendships? But goodwill and friendships are definitely going to improve if our own well-being improves. And then lastly, is it beneficial to all concerned? Well, we may be thinking so much about other people that we forget that can and should, it needs to include us. That includes you. So looking inward does not conflict with service above self. And as you know, when we get on a plane, the flight attendants remind us that we need to put our own mask on first. We need that oxygen so that we can help others. So in wondering about importance of looking inward, we want to think about well-being of ourselves as well as others. This is a little bit of a diagram to show kind of the balance. Most of us have a very good skill base in particular things, but we also have this other side. We have worries. Many of us have some worries and things that are on our mind, particularly now. This is a very stressful time for everybody in Hawaii because we feel, we feel whether we're living on the island of Maui or we're a Lahaina survivor or we're in the state, we have concerns and stress. So how can we make the belongingness of being a Rotary member even better? Now, in many ways, a stressful time can bring us even closer. We're seeing that. That's evidenced by the Maui club community, pulling together, getting that connection. But to continue to connect, we want to communicate and build cohesiveness that we can continue to break the stigma about our own well-being. It's okay to talk about our own well-being, and we want to raise the awareness of ourselves and others. So many of the skills that we have and we want to promote have to do with self-awareness, connectedness, communication. It's okay to seek help. It's always great to be optimistic and have a sense of humor and problem solving. We find that Rotarians tend to have this skill base while also balancing things like family and friends and school and, you know, what about the future? So what are your ideas to improve well-being of Rotary members? This is where you could have a conversation about this, but it's been found that some ideas might include, some people have a committee to talk about this more, to make this vision real. Some people do creative things about the seat assignments. You know, sometimes it can feel that people sit at the same time, the same table, the same way all the time. Chatting more with people. And as you know, we don't call them mental wellness necessarily full presentations, but we've talked about mental health moments. That could be a presentation, or it could be just kind of a little announcement or an event. Here's also some reminders and ideas. I think Rotarians are kind of known for these attributes. Active listening, which is really being truly present, you know, not being on our iPhones, not multitasking, but really being a good listener. To remember to follow up. If we don't follow up, sometimes things get lost. Also, if someone says we should, you know, do something, to try to follow up on that. Being empathetic, that's one of the best skills we can work on. Of course, courageous. What about conversations that really are outside of our comfort zone? That can happen a lot. Just, you know, if we step outside, it's uncomfortable, and it does take courage to be uncomfortable. Being vulnerable is also uncomfortable, but the idea is, what's the worst that can happen? We actually do survive it, and we will recover from being vulnerable. And in the environment, we are our club's environment. So looking at our club's environment can definitely add to our well-being. And then, of course, understanding others without getting defensive. There are some obstacles, and that's sometimes good to talk about. It's found that really the biggest obstacle is our own self-talk. We can be our own obstacle. We're not going to show that video. This talks about other obstacles like anxiety, which definitely increases during stressful times. Our self-esteem might not be at its best, although a Rotary member often has a higher self-esteem. So in other words, being a Rotarian adds to our well-being. Fear, if we're fearful, that certainly can be an obstacle. And sometimes people have shame, or they worry that they're going to overstep boundaries, or something's too personal. So sometimes people are worried too much about privacy. And then sometimes we're just worried that we might not get the response that we expected. So we think we're supposed to be super kind and not make judgment. Now, if you will pull out your phone, this is completely anonymous. And please add any ideas that you would like. And if you'll take your phone and put it right onto the camera and click on you push on the QR code, it's a brief survey that I'd like you to do now. And we will do it again, as I mentioned, after the first of the year. And I would love it if you could do this with your clubs and with as many Rotarians as possible. Wouldn't it be nice if we had like 80% of all of our D5000 Rotarians complete this? So it could be some real data now and then later again. Looks to me like most people have completed it. Is this something that you think you could share out?
I hate to say this, but I didn't know how to do it.
Okay, thank you, Heather. Okay, so some people might not know what a QR code is or how to use a QR code. I should not assume that. So on our phones, we have a camera. The camera an icon is one of these pictures. And so if you push on to how you use your camera, you actually take your camera and it's like you're taking a picture, but you don't actually have to take the picture. It should zoom into that and then it just kind of pops up the survey. Or if you do this to somewhere else, it pops up the website that you're looking at.
I took a picture and then I couldn't get it to go anywhere.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, you don't actually have to click your camera.
I see.
You just hold it there and then it should pop up.
Okay.
But I'm going to send this to you all so you have the whole document and then you can do what I did with your club and then do it together as a group. And thank you, Heather, because you can remind people, okay, this is what you do. Because not everybody knows. I mean, there are some people that just go, oh, QR code this and do that. And then it's just like whoosh. And then there's other people, let's just do it step by step.
I'm kind of old.
Well, it's not, I don't think you're old, but you're reminding us that let's not make assumptions. Very good point. Did anybody successfully do the survey? Okay, was it interesting?
Simple.
Simple. Okay, good. Simple. Okay, good. Well, thank you for participating in that. That's one of the initiatives that our reg is pushing out, and we'd like to do that now, please, and then we'll do it later. And we'll get the results back.
I have a question, Kathleen.
Hi, Joni.
Hello. Is this only for Rotary people or can we send it to family members or other people? Is it only for us, Rotary?
Well, for right now, because the data is going to go to the mental health Rotary Action Group, the international group, we probably should just have it for District 5000 Rotarians, because it would kind of mess up our data group. Not that I want to keep it secret. I mean, it would be really interesting for everybody, but for right now, we better keep it to just D5000 Rotarians, just because of the statistics. Thank you. It's a very good point.
All right, that's a great point. And thank you, Jacob, for putting in the link there. So if the QR code didn't work, you can just click on the link and fill it out real quick. That's probably a good thing to add to your slide deck, Kathleen. The link is good.
You can click on the link if you can't. Okay, where's the link? Where's the
Jacob put the link in there. So the whole idea is that we gather a mental wellness, like a foundation now, and then we'll see if what we're doing with our mental health initiative improves our mental health over time. So I'd encourage you to do this, at least part of this exercise with your clubs as you're doing your mental health moments. I was at a club meeting this morning and they had a great mental health moment, so it's all good. All right, Wendy put in promoting your mental health initiative meeting next week.
Oh, thanks, Wendy.
There you go.
They're so fast.
All right, folks, any hands up real quick and we can thank you for your time. We covered a lot of ground. I hope I didn't confuse you too much with the showcase. Nancy, 20 seconds, Nancy.
Mute, unmute. Okay, yes, I was very happy to have everybody talk about our district conference, but don't forget, our international convention is also in Singapore, May 26th to 31st. And we have about 50 Rotarians already signed up for that. So, and we have hotel rooms set aside. So be sure you look into getting set up with that if you're interested or get more information to become interested. So Singapore in 24.
I have a quick question, Mark.
Okay.
For those clubs that want to apply for the grant to support Micronesian families or other issues, what grant form shall we use?
We're going to use the same form as we use for the district grants. And so it's that 2-page form, basically outline what the project is, say you want $500, and we'll get that available for you.
Thank you.
Good question. Thank you. So we covered a lot of ground. We talked about Maui. I confused everybody on the Rotary Showcase. Scott came in and gave us an update on district conference. Kathleen helped us with our mental health. And I am very grateful for each and every one of you for what you're doing for our communities, and in particular, what Rotary in general is doing to support our friends on Maui. It really is phenomenal. And Miley came on, the Rotary Club of Kahului president, came on late in the meeting because she just got out of a school parents' night. So Miley, thank you for joining us too. Heather came on late. She's with the Rotary Club of Maui. So we have great Maui representation this evening. And thank you for that. We're there for you because Rotary that's what we do in Rotary. So with that, thank you very much. And if you want to unmute and say goodnight, or we'll just say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Aloha.
Aloha.
All right. Okay.